So about 20, 30 minutes ago, 18 minutes, thank you for correcting me, the jury came back with unanimous verdicts on all counts. They found Kenneth Augustine guilty as charged for 2 counts of obstruction of justice, for 2 counts of second-degree murder, and for being in possession, being a felon in possession of a firearm. Jury came back very quick in this case, but that is in no way based upon the case that we found when we came in office. This family has suffered unimaginable grief in terms of what Kenneth Augustine did to this couple in their home in front of their 3 children. I have not said a lot to the press during the course of the trial as per the judge's request, and it would have been prudent because we needed to make sure that we proved this case in court, not on the courthouse steps. But now that the jury has spoken and the jury has seen the evidence, we can talk about this case, and I want you to hear from this family because there was a time when it was not clear that the criminal legal system was going to be able to hold Kenneth Augustine accountable. In 2020, we lost 3 adult eyewitnesses. As you can think back, COVID was taking a lot of lives in the city of New Orleans, and there were witnesses who testified in this room at this grand jury about watching him gun down Greg and chase Darnisha through the house, leaving carnage and blood throughout that small home and leaving 3 toddlers in it. Those witnesses died. And when those witnesses died, we were afraid that this case was going to die. This family, the people surrounding me, did not give up. Well, they were nervous and they were scared, but they did not give up. And they pressed forward. And I thank you all for believing in the system. Some people don't. I thank God for you believing in me personally. I thank God for you believing in these 2 young men, Corbin Bates and Corey Tassin, 2 lawyers, 2 young lawyers in this office who were in law school when Kenneth Augustine took the lives of this couple. There are no words to describe the carnage that he caused. But there are words to describe the 2 young people who came forward. A little girl who was 3 years old when she saw her mother and father murdered. She couldn't muster the words to say his name in court. She couldn't muster the words to point him out in court. But she knew the name Kenneth, and she knew he had a gun when he came in that home, and she described him as having a purple shirt in that courtroom. And another young man who was probably 10 or 11 when this happened. He left his high school class and came to court because he knew he saw what happened in that house. And he wanted his words to count. And I thank God for those young people stepping up to make sure that justice could be served, because it could not have been served without them. So I'm going to step away from the podium, and I want you to hear from the next of kin, from the people who were trying to put the pieces together after Kenneth Augustine blew it away. Lauren?
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. It's been a long journey for me and my family. I refuse to give up every step. I just never gave up, no matter what road, what road, what dead end we came into, no matter if we were falling into a hole and I felt like I was sinking many days trying to figure it all out, how to to come up with some solutions to support the district attorney and his office, and watching Corbin grow from a baby in the courtroom, because when I first started coming to court, I watched Corbin along the way, and he was always truly remarkable in providing information to me. Even in his early stages, he possessed that. And my Miss Melissa, my assistant, my advocate, very wonderful woman, and I deeply appreciate her because there was always a constant line of communication with her. Sometimes I wouldn't respond right away to her because I do get overwhelmed a lot. I do get involved in my emotions, and of course, my life has changed dynamically. My husband and I and my daughter, our lives have changed so much in having to care for my grandchildren, nieces. So with that being said, my life has changed so much that I'm not able to focus and give the attention to some people that I would normally be able to give, because I have 3 little ones, and I have my own kids, and I do have a large family before the grandchildren came along. So with that being said, yeah, it's been a long journey. I also want to thank the judge for all the times that I kind of beat him up on the back end. I appreciate the hard work and hard times that I might have given everybody along the way. I don't know, y'all have any questions for me other than?
When you heard guilty, what was your reaction? How was that feeling? Was it a sigh of relief, or like, finally this is over?
Absolutely. I gave a strong, hard, long fight to seeking justice for my son, Gregory Heiser III, and my daughter-in-law, Darnisha Da Silva. And hearing guilty in the first count, I knew what was following. I do my homework. I'm always asking questions. And with that being said, I kind of knew what was going to happen from there, and I expected all counts to come back as guilty at that point. But that was the relief that I needed in that moment, to know that every trip to the DA's office, to the criminal court building, none of my time and energy was wasted, and I would do it all again if I had to.
Like you mentioned, it's been a long journey, not just the 5 years, but the past week. I know the emotions, I've seen emotions that you guys have been through. Now, what does this mean for you and your family moving forward after hearing that guilty verdict, and especially those 3 little babies?
I can't wait to get home and tell them. I can't wait. They just getting out of school, and I can't wait to get home to share that they don't have to worry. My grandson doesn't have to worry about going outside and playing anymore. They don't have to worry about, somebody's knocking at the door, because they have, especially my oldest grandson. He suffers with his PTSD, and I work really hard. My husband works really hard at giving all of the kids a sense of security so that they can have some type of normalcy aside from what they've been through already. So yeah, I look forward to just being able to tell my grandchildren the good news.
This was an extremely difficult trial to go through, especially seeing all that evidence that we saw from both the prosecution and defense. Why did you as the family choose to stay in the courtroom and look over those photos with the jury?
I chose to stay in the courtroom and refused to take any no as an option. I needed to see the facts for myself. I needed to know what this predator did to my son and my daughter-in-law. I needed to know the facts so that one day, these 3 little kids who I care for, I need to be able to determine how much they need to know and what the facts are so that I can give them some sense of closure as adults. So I started it. I've been there since day one, and I'm going to keep being there till my last breath. I'm going to do whatever it takes. I want to know, and the facts are important to me, and that's where I was going to find the true facts to be able to ensure that they get the answers they need in time.
So before, I want to make sure there's 2 families here. Darnisha Da Silva lost her life as well. I want you to hear from this family as well, because I know you all are focused on what you know about, but those 3 witnesses who died, who were prepared to come testify, that compounded the tragedy as well for this family as well. So let me let you hear from them as well, because this is, I've never seen a case like this.
Y'all have any questions for you?
I'm gonna speak from my mom not being here, as she sat and watched Kenneth walk into her house, kill her daughter, while she sat there and could do nothing to help her and Gregory. My grandmother sat there, watched Kenneth come through the door and kill them, and she could do nothing about it. My mom lost Gregory, Darnisha, and her great-grandchildren in one day. It was like she was suffering in silence for the past 3 years until she passed away from COVID. She never talked about it. She never spoke on it. Like, it was just like, I couldn't explain because she wouldn't even speak on it. Like, I can only imagine as a mother what it would be like to see my daughter dead on the floor and see Gregory on the floor and not be able to help them. And it happened from somebody who we once called a brother, someone she trusted, someone she had in our life for 2 whole years prior to this. We thought he was someone that we can trust. Our life has changed dramatically since. We have them no more. We can no longer pull up to that house no more and see Darnisha, her kids, and Gregory anymore. We don't have that anymore. I want to say thank you to everybody who worked on the case. Also to Lurley for, I call her Lurley, for, not giving up on the case. While we was going through our tragic time, she came and she came and she came and she never gave up. And I appreciate you for that. I really do.
Wouldn't be any other way, baby.
And I'm thankful for Jason Williams and everybody else on the team who got this guilty verdict.
Any questions?
I have to ask you all as a family, I mean, it's been a long journey, a tough time. You were grieving, you were fighting the case, you were having to keep everybody together. Where did you find that strength to keep pushing forward? Where did that come from?
You want me to answer that for you?
Yeah.
We took our grief and turned it into action. I didn't allow myself to get consumed because I had to answer to 3 children, more than 3 children. I had to answer to all my kids, all of the extended family, because we became an extended family after the loss. So I took all that hurt and pain, and when I was in bed at night and crying, I was doing my homework, I was researching, I was figuring out who I need to call, who can I contact, what's next, what's my next move. And I would keep a lot of people up to hear me rant about it.
And I say all the time, I don't know how she did it for the past 5 years because it was my first time seeing him when I came to court with her in April.
You came in December.
When I came to court with her, that was my first time seeing him since And I'm like, how could you face him all this time? Like, I was not ready to face him. Just seeing him and being around him just makes you angry because you know that's the person that did this, and you know this the person that you once trusted, and it's hurt your family in a traumatic way. So I don't know how she did it, but I definitely pushed through this week on the strength of my mama, my sister, my grandmother, my nephew, my nieces, my little brother that was in the house. I had to come through for them.
My last question, we heard in the court, the judge and Dave Williams talked about that mandatory life sentence that comes with a conviction of second-degree murder. How are you guys feeling now, knowing that he will get that sentence?
You got it? Go ahead.
For me, I'm Darnisha's little sister. For me, it's a big sigh of relief. I went through my whole, not just me, everyone that's standing around right now. We've been through a whole lot as a whole and separately. I just, like everyone has been saying, I just want to show a lot of gratitude to everyone that worked hard and was here constantly when we wasn't able to be here due to our own issues and losses along the way. And for myself, I just, today means a lot. I went through a lot alone by myself. I dealt with the blame and the hurt. I pushed through. So thank you all.
We happy to have him off the streets, so hopefully he don't kill nobody else. And I'm glad he can be around all the boys now, so he can enjoy himself. I'm sorry.
Kenneth Augustine was not supposed to have a gun. He was a felon with a firearm. He had a previous attempt manslaughter. And the system and a judge said that he was not to be trusted with a firearm because we saw what he did with it. And a lot of you all didn't see the video that we were able to get from the security camera from across the street, but there were children playing on the sidewalk, in the yard,
In the
as
driveway, they
in the
pulled into.
driveway. He pulled up and he committed this crime in front of his own family's kids, in front of his nephews and nieces. And that level, that type of violence, that type of meanness, that type of cruelty, it deserves life in prison. Thank you, everybody.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. How I feel about it? There's no amount of time, there's nothing that he can give back to us. From what he took from us, there's nothing he can do to give, no amount of time to truly give us the justice that we would like. But I feel like the way the justice system is built, we got the end be all result that we could possibly get. And I'm satisfied with our end result at this point, at this moment. So I just wish him the best of luck where he's headed.
Before the record, can I get your name, please?
Lurline, Lurline, LA, capital B, EAUD, Duncan, DUNCAN.
In relationship?
I'm Gregory Hayes' mother and Darnisha Da Silva's mother-in-law.
Give yours to me.
I'm Javonda Da Silva, and I'm Darnisha Da Silva, big sister.
Can you say your name, please?
JAVONDA DESILVA.
Anissa De Silva, ANISSA DESILVA, and I am Darnisha's little sister.
Any other questions from the press?
Dave Williams,
Yes.
is there, I know obviously you didn't need it to get the verdict that we did, but is there any reason why the testimony or the interviews from those other three family members was not submitted as evidence?
Yeah, I guess, sometimes we get caught up in the weeds of the law. It's inadmissible. These three adult witnesses came before the grand jury, which is a secret process that is not open to the public, and they testified that they saw Kenneth Augustine commit these crimes. But they passed away before they could get to court and provide that testimony in court and have it be subject to cross-examination, you see. And so Kenneth Augustine thought he's going to get away with murder because these people died. He thought because they were not going to be able to testify in court, he thought that was going to be his get-out-of-jail-free card. He was prepared to plead guilty when they were alive, and when they were no longer available, he thought he would play chicken with the court. You know, there was a time when we did not know what our path was going to be, Corbin and Corey. We didn't know. Through some very diligent work of a young man who was in law school when this crime was committed, it was a Rule 20 in this office when he first met you, he hustled. He did some really creative work to find the evidence we needed to present a case to come back with a unanimous verdict of guilty on all charges. And I know, speaking for Corbin, speaking for Corey, I'm honored to have been able to try this case personally for this family. When we lost those witnesses, I promised you that I was not going to hand this off to someone else without me trying a case with no witnesses. And I'm just honored that this family trusted this office to deliver. And I'm so proud of this team, not just the lawyers, but everybody, the victim witness assistants, the trial advocates, the folks who took care of this family day in and day out. When our backs were turned to them because we were focused on the jury, focused on the evidence, there was a whole team of people that had their arms around this people, making sure they could get in and out of court safely, because that's not guaranteed. Thank you.